So being Asian and having parents who want us to be lawyers, accountants, and all that BS, right?
This question is coming up.
Oh, yeah. You know the question's gonna
Okay.
come out already, right? Were your parents very like supportive in the beginning, or were they like very against it?
I go first.
Yeah.
I go first. They were against it at first, but I
Okay.
think they opened it up
How old were you when you spoke to them? Sorry.
to do music.
Yeah,
seriously.
yeah.
I think it was like after high school, because in high school you don't know what you want to do. Like, I didn't know what I wanted to do in high school. Even after high school, I thought maybe this, maybe that, but I think I wanted to try out music, and my parents weren't supportive at first, but later on they were, because they just saw like I was just putting in the work, the time, the hours, yeah. So I think they was like, okay.
Oh, you have to show them lah. Show like,
yeah.
okay, I'm working hard,
Yeah,
right? I'm
yeah,
not
yeah.
just dicking around. I know the feeling, man. My dad used to tell me that about my YouTube. It's like, nobody watches your shit, man. I'm like, wow. That's so sad, man, that you say that shit. But I still did it anyway, right?
Right.
What about you, man?
Yeah, I think oddly enough, my parents are pro music. They like do music, but my dad is the type who's like super strict. So he's like, you're not putting in work. You can't make a living with this. Like he'll say super straightforward, and it's the truth, so it always hurts.
Yeah.
Until you get to the point where it's like, okay, now then they don't say so much anymore. But it's kind of funny. Like my younger brother got like just the top of his class, full ride scholarship to
sounds
New
like
York
Andrew.
College.
Yeah.
But my parents are like, why don't you play any music stuff? And it's like the
the
opposite kind of thing,
What?
Yeah, he's like, he's doing like tech, computer science kind of stuff right now. He's taking like his doctorate, but then my parents are
Wow.
like, you don't play the French horn anymore? It's like, "Why not?" Yeah, it's kind of weird. They're never going to be 100% happy. So
Is your dad the Japanese one?
yeah.
Oh, yeah, the typical Asian.
Oh,
Yeah. So eventually he kind of went like just, so he was all the way, your parents were all the way, music supporting you?
Not like financial support kind of thing. Just like if you want to do it, you do
Oh,
it,
okay.
and if you can, you pay for it yourself, then it's fine. So then,
Yeah. Okay, that's good. That's good, man. I feel like a lot of parents are like deviating from that whole conventional parenthood where like, hey, you have to be. It's a slow change, I feel, with our generation.
Right. But
For sure.
I get where they're coming from also,
They
because
just want you to be safe.
in their generation, you don't hear of like musicians like
Yeah,
getting
bro.
like a job. You know what I mean?
It's
like,
true. It's true. So it's so out there for them.
Yes,
Even when
yes,
when I told them I do YouTube and all that, they're like, wow. So you cannot even earn money. You can earn money. That's the first
Yes.
thought. You can earn money. That type of thing. My friend's son, investment banker. Then you like, I guess,
They earn a lot though.
yeah, I know they do. They
A lot
do.
though.
But like they don't have the time because they're always working, right?
Right,
So it's
right,
quite
right,
sad.
right.
So maybe they do what they love, but at the same time it sacrifices so much time. And I kind of like the extra time. So you can do a podcast like that. It's the shit, man. Yeah. On top of having Asian parents, how do your friends react? Like when you have conversations with them, when they ask you like what do you do with musicians, like do they ask you that same question?
I think my high school friends, they weren't that supportive
Ah.
at first. But I think after a while they are like, okay, you just do your own life lah.
Oh, okay.
Because we are all growing up, you know what I mean? So everyone just do their own life. And I kind of met like-minded people when I went to music college. So it's like,
That's true. That's
let's just
true.
do it.
That's true. And then you guys kind of like help each other out anyway.
Yeah.
What about you, man? Ty?
Yeah, I think my high school also wasn't many people, so like not like a huge friend group. Everyone's kind of another weird situation. It's a American military school in northern Japan. So like everyone, it's not like super Asian thinking either. Everyone's just kind of okay. Now you go off do your own thing, and yeah, I think people are like, oh, he's doing music in high school. So then I said, I want to study music in college. Like, okay, cool. No one really cares that much, I guess.
Yeah, I think in Malaysia, like the people might be influenced by their parents too. You know what I mean?
Because you're young, right? And then when you're growing up, and then your parents like instill this whole money is the top priority.
Yeah.
And then when you go to school, you're like, oh, I want to be an accountant when I grow up. I'm like, that's cool, bro. Then what do you want to become? Then you're like, oh, I wanna draw. Then you're like, huh? You want to draw? What do you mean? Then I just want to be a
Right, right.
cartoonist. So they have that whole warped mindset because
Right,
of
right,
what the
right.
parents have instilled.